persevering. The tractable cover hides the spacious to know. Yeah, this bed can carry all kinds of cargo. The lights beam a laser that live stream a raving show. Like a rocket ship taking off with a blast, quite a shock, is it? Everybody's aghast at the Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck. Now the future's past. Maybe one day these beasts will roam the lanes of Mars. Now they'll play on Earth and share the streets with all these cars. Rocket ship taking off with the blast, quite a shock, is it? Everybody's aghast at the Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck. Like a rocket ship taking off with the blast, quite a shock, is it? Everybody's aghast at the Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck. Now the future is past.
I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, it has been a fantastic week.
Oh, that's good
I
to
know many of you share the same joy that I feel going to my LCS and seeing
Yes.
this little comic book by our buddy, everybody's little brother, Narwhal.
I can't go to my LCS though. I do want that comic, but I'm not welcome. But that's
Oh, dude. sorry about that. So, if you haven't picked this up yet, go grab it. It is super exciting to go to an LCS and buy something that one of our fellow creators has created. Just absolutely wonderful book. Aldous is going to be covering this on the gutter tonight. I could not be more happy for Narwhal. It's just very exciting for everybody in this indie environment to see this book out by Dark Horse, written by Mark Millar. Just very exciting.
Did you flip through it? Have a read through it yet? Or
Oh yeah, I read it. Oh, it's good. It's good. This is and it feels like it feels like a heist movie. It feels
Okay.
like obviously it's vampires, but it feels like a zombie attack movie. Feels like it feels like an Under Siege. It's a great book, and I would be very surprised if Netflix doesn't adapt it into a movie. So all the better for Narwhal. Very exciting. So go check this out, please, everybody. And then I'm also going to be doing a read through of Mr. X, the first 4 issues of Mr. X by the Hernandez brothers. Myself, our guest John's Lombox, and Narwhal. We're going to be covering this book on Narwhal's channel this coming Tuesday. So I've got to do a read through of the first 4 issues of Mr. X. Going to relive this series. Very excited to reread it and then talk about it this coming week. And as always, I am hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. This time I mean it. I really mean it. My day job has calmed down. The past year, I've gotten 2 promotions and I've traveled to 5 or 6 cities. It's been nuts. I've been kind of working on Jupiter issue 2 as much as I can.
Nice.
Now I'm getting in a solid 2, 3, 4, 5 afternoons or evenings a week, plowing away. The campaign will go live this year. Very excited to get issue 2 in everybody's hands. But please, if you haven't backed issue 1, go check it out. Mad Ruth, Craig,
Yes.
I think you're going to be hard pressed to beat my great week. But how was your week?
Well, the snow's starting to melt out here, so for
Nice.
starters, I'm starting to see spring emerging. We're going to have our election shortly here on the 28th. And I'm
You're
terrified
Canadian?
of that. Yeah, don't hold that against me though. But
how's that?
yeah, I love those. Those are great
Yeah, I
childhood
know.
days of mine.
Hey,
Uh,
John, did you hear that his new prime minister, not only was he not elected, he wasn't even in parliament. They just found some guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't even live in Canada. Wasn't he in
No.
Europe 18 months ago?
he hasn't lived here for 11 years. So he's a globalist banker, WEF, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
been governor of the Bank of Canada, governor of the Bank of England, net zero, pushing the green energy. Basically, all his money's tied in foreign investments and stifling anything in North America, right? Don't pull it out of the ground policy. He got caught, all his money he liquidated down to like Bermuda and the Caymans, and he's tied in with the CCP. So yeah, we're out of our minds if we put him in. Out of our minds, absolutely. But
my wife is Canadian, so she turned me on to Hickory Sticks and Tim Hortons. And
so hopefully, I'm a conservative by heart, but obviously I'm rooting for the other guy. But I wanted to show Jason. I created this. I don't know if you can see the
Whoa,
back.
trippy.
Is that cool?
Nice.
So I'm gonna leave that up. See if the audience says none.
this is how it feels to read Jupiter.
Thank you, John.
like I said, I love Jupiter. Like I told you this to your face. I said I love Jupiter. I said I was only confused by the parts that I was supposed to be confused.
But for starters, for myself,
Thank
I read this week.
Nice.
So we got
Hey,
John
I know
here.
those.
Yeah, it's a great book. I enjoyed the 3-parter, getting to know like a day in the life of the patriarch there.
Yeah.
And then that fight with his like arch nemesis, and then the third part as well. Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, digging
Good.
it. Are you going to continue all 3 parts with the next one? I don't want to jump in your book too early, but
Do you want me to comment? So I'm working. I got Heroic Tales 2 in the works, and Heroic Tales 2, just like Jupiter, is a flip book.
Nice.
Okay.
Your book is one of the things that inspired me to make a flip book. So it's going to be half the patriarch because you dance with the one that brought you there. Everybody seems to like the patriarch. Originally, Heroic Tales was going to be a different superhero every issue, kind of like Astro City from Kurt Piasek.
Okay.
But I people like the patriarch. I like the patriarch. I think he has like breakout appeal sooner or later. So I'll stick with the patriarch. And then I'm introducing Mary Sue. And it's going to be her origin. So you flip it over and you get the Mary Sue on one side, you get the patriarch on the other. And I was just talking with Bill Williams, who's doing my lettering. And this is a guy who worked with Bill Willingham, one of my comic book legends. And he said he goes, John, that Mary Sue story is phenomenal. It's so good. He goes, the way you told it, everything like that. He goes, that's going to be your breakout character. And I'm like, really? Because I've been getting a lot of pushback. People tell me that they don't like Mary Sue just because she's a Mary Sue. I said, but give her a chance. Give her a chance. She's the where do you go when you're already perfect? Is her problem.
Great. That's not everybody can write Superman because you've got to figure out a challenge that they can tax Superman. So that's an interesting pitch. So I'm curious to read about this.
Yeah, like I was nervous because Bill Willingham and the editor are the only people who read the story. Bill Williams, rather. And I was like, did you get where I was going? And they said, yes. So, like I set up all of these rules for my comics, and then Mary Sue breaks them. But that's the whole Sue. So I'm excited to bring that to you.
So I got a second parter I wanted to touch on as well there. Sorry, John, jump in.
Yeah, sure.
Here we go. So channel update for me. So I know you can appreciate this as well because I've watched your channel grow. We're up to actually I think 411 subscribers. So I just want to see anyone watching. There's 34 watching right now. Thank you so much.
How many? How long have you been around?
So I started streaming when I started creating my comic the last 2 years as in the Army. So like I started making just individual streams around 2020, but I would only make like one video a month. So we only actually started doing this show dedicated for just shy of 2 years ago, and I don't think I had 170 subscribers. So I've gotten here in 2 years. So
okay, because it took me about 2.5 years all of a sudden, But I made a 10-minute video every day about comics, and then all of a sudden it was just like an explosion. I still have, less subscribers than other people who've taken off, but you know what I mean.
Yep. Yeah. For sure. So
Craig, are we going to do something when we hit 420 subscribers?
Yes, I'm definitely going to do a 420 stream if I get there. So,
and so that means we have to have Belmont and Chris Faction.
Good stuff.
Who else? Good stuff. Okay. All right.
There's a few out there. A few I want to reach out. You just never know if people still smoke. Sometimes people quit. But we'll see. So that was the first thing I just want to share. Thank you so much, everyone, for boosting the channel and getting
Good,
it
good
to
for you,
where it
man.
is.
Good for you.
And here's the next one, John. I was curious about. Have you ever received warnings or strikes on your channel?
I received a warning a
Okay.
few times because it mostly comes when other people show their trailers.
Mm,
If you watch my channel, I always say, "Can I show you a trailer?" What I'm asking is, am I going to get copyright struck? Because sometimes
Yeah.
people in their trailers they'll use music,
Hmm.
you know, and maybe I don't know, is it like okay on their channel, but it's not okay? So a lot of times I'll have to go and edit out the music of people's trailers. But other
Right.
than that, like we don't really do anything too controversial on my channel.
Yeah, me either. But so a couple, I think was it 2 Fridays ago, I made the mistake of all movies, I took a segment of Snow White and I wrapped it just the end credit footage, and Disney hit me. So if you're wondering why I got that Disney thing at the beginning,
Oh yeah,
they're the ones that did this to me.
they're bad. They're bad news.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's my fault.
you know, there is something to be said for being viewed as a threat, and so you've climbed up the ladder to the point where you're a threat to Disney. So,
Hmm.
kudos to you.
But I was talking with Jason about this. So this is the 90-dayer. This one goes till June 26th. So I figure we'll keep doing this show on this channel because I'm gonna pump out monthly content like you have to, right? You got to keep feeding the algorithm. It's like feed me Seymour, feed me from. In any case,
Little Shop of Horrors.
yeah. So I'll keep the show going here for the rest of April and May. But in June, I think I talked to Jason that for those 3 days in June, just because it's so close to the end wire with this, the Friday nights will be on his channel. Just so I don't jinx it in June.
It's a good idea to alternate, build up each other's channels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's also the point of networking too. Yeah, just so when I get into predicaments like this, yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to share those two things. So
Like if we do that comic show with Norwal, and just like if we go on each other's channels, like RJ and I do comic book team up, and we go back and forth to each other's channels. Just he's helping me more than I'm helping him. You know, he's in the 20,000s of subscribers, and I'm
oh wow.
Yeah, let's talk to Narwhal if he wants to do the show like monthly. Maybe yeah. Well, let's just see in terms of frequency, because my concern is if we put it on my show, it might get some eyeballs on my channel, but then nobody's gonna see it.
What?
So it's better.
Strike while the iron is hot, you know. And then, or do what we're doing now. I'm streaming this simultaneously on my channel.
Sure.
You know?
Oh yeah, I could do that too. Yeah.
Help each other out, man. That's one thing I am not is jealous, unless you're touching my hickory sticks.
That's right.
Then there's a problem.
So should I jump to our 3 topics for this evening?
Actually, who's in the chat tonight?
Oh yes, hey, yeah, breaking sequence. Thanks.
That's why I'm here.
So first and foremost, Vulcan jumped out there. Good evening, dudes and dudettes. Good evening to you as well. Vulcan is a knight. He's welcome to jump on the panel anytime we say this out there. He's been here since day one.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Vulcan, when we do our 2-year anniversary show this coming summer, you have to be on, sir. I don't care if you've got a crappy camera. I don't care if you have to disguise your voice. But Vulcan, you have to come on the show.
You've been ordered. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. Otherwise, we're taking that wrench away.
See, he's going to disappear now. He's going to. Okay. I'm not putting that pressure on you, Vulcan. You do whatever you got to do. Here's John's handle here. Absolutely. I believe this is streaming to your channel, and
Yes.
if they're joining us, welcome to the Friday nights. We host this show every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. 90 minutes, 3 topics, 1 guest. And because I'm retired, I scour the internet for funny stuff. And then I throw them in as intros and outros just to make the show entertaining and different. Mark's Music Obsession, hail to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Matt Barr's here. Yeah, I saw he's working on a piece. What was it, Warthog? I saw pictures of that.
Did you see Matt's page in Heroic Tales?
Yes. Yeah.
The Sea
Good
Hippie?
stuff.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
I've also got Rock and Roll Ninja. So yeah,
I love Rock and Roll Ninja. I was, working in Manhattan. I keep looking at the tops of buildings, and Matt and I were just talking about that the other day about ideas for superheroes. From Matt, I'm not stealing your idea, but I thought of it simultaneously. He knows what we're talking about.
Parallel ideas. It's only a problem if one of you makes millions of dollars. Let's be honest.
Right. Then the long knives come out.
That's
What-
right. Philbo Baggins joining us. Hail
Hey,
to you as
Bilbo,
well.
I met you at the Graham Nolan cigar party, right?
Nice. Belmont, Daddy Belmont.
Just-
Belmont.
Joining us, yes, chasing around a newborn. I hope you got one of those jumpy things. That worked really well for me. The bouncing thing with all the stuff that goes all the way around the ring that they can play with. Yeah, that bought me a couple months.
So, Justin, what's harder to do? Make a comic book or make a baby?
Which is funner.
Yeah, making the baby is fun until the baby comes along. It's not so fun. Aldous, greetings to you as well. And you said immediately following this show, you're gonna run through the Vatican City with him.
Well, actually, I won't be on the gutter tonight, but on the gutter, he and JP will be covering Vatican City. So
Nice.
I'll throw that link in there as our show winds down. So that's on the radar for tonight.
Cool. And then it's just everyone going back and forth. I'm not going to share everyone's conversation, but that's everyone that's in the chat. Again, we're up to 51 watching our silly antics tonight.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining Friday nights and keeping the show going in the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. Should I jump to the crazy?
Yeah.
zany
What
topics?
was the first news item?
I think I was gonna say I've almost got next week's 3 topics already. You wouldn't believe the craziness that's going on this week.
It's the Trump effect. He warps space time around him, so things are accelerating.
So for next week, I'm thinking there's Chinese flying taxis now. There's Fire Festival 2. The guy's gonna try to raise money to do it again. It's insane. It just doesn't stop. It never ends.
So what's going on with this guy? What do you do?
Okay. So first and foremost, this one comes to us from Fox News. Florida man accused of stealing a Cybertruck during a test drive returned to the Tesla dealership days later. So he left his driver's license and his identification. I guess he had extra stuff in the office, bag. I don't know. Who knows what the contents of his belongings were. But he took the truck and he just didn't bring it back. And they waited hours and whatever. And then the truck never returned that evening. So in any case, they tracked the Cybertruck down. They found it. They got their truck and they brought it back. He left contents and belongings in the truck as well. They found it in a parking lot of I forget what store it was. So they didn't even have to arrest him because he showed back up at the dealership looking for his stuff that he left in his car at the office. And then they called the police and arrested him.
So John, as Vulcan pointed out, this is on point for Florida man. Do you give Florida man any extra slack, or is the law the law?
Law's the law, man. I mean, you gonna tell me this guy didn't know what he was doing? And you know what? If he didn't know what he was doing, put him in jail even harder, because we don't need stupid people like that walking on the streets. If you're dumb enough to kill people, the guy's mentally deficient, then what do you're not going to cure cancer. Go away. We don't need you.
Well, question. Okay, so I'm just going to be devil's advocate. So John, you're the jury, and I'm the lawyer.
I'm pretty harsh.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my defendant, he was test driving this car, but his understanding was the car could drive itself back to the dealership. His understanding that at all times Tesla knew the whereabouts of the car, and in his mind, he did nothing wrong.
Oh, is that what he was arguing? That he thought it was going to drive back on his own?
That's what I would say as the as the lawyer.
Oh, well,
I got one for you. He intends to buy it, and by all means, if they give him the car loan, he'll make the payments. Trust me, I'll make the payments. Set it up. I want to keep it, and he doesn't have to make the payments after that.
Welcome, Nick of Time. Good to see you.
Yes.
So what? He just left it. He left the car where it was at the Home Depot, and then walked back to get his stuff the next day. So what was he doing? Like, was he drunk? Was he on drugs? Like, did he forget that he left the car at Home Depot? Either way, this guy deserves some jail time. Sometimes being stupid should be painful.
For sure.
As a kid, I did dumb things, and my dad would give me a swat on the ass. And I'm like, I don't want to do that dumb thing anymore. Sometimes you need a swat on the ass.
But He didn't vandalize it though. He
Right.
didn't draw anything on it or spray paint it. Like, its question is, what condition was it in, right?
So Craig, do you think this guy could be like, he gets in front of the jury and he's like, "Have y'all seen the movie Memento?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I got that thing that guy's got. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot I borrowed them. I forgot I took it for a test drive.
Right.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then how do you have a driver's license? You know what I mean? Like, whatever. We all say it until it happens. There should be consequences for stupidity. You know. So I don't know if he was a criminal. I don't know if he was stupid, but you know what?
So Nick at Time says, I don't mind stupidity. What I mind is arrogance, thinking you hurt people but can get away with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
I think we're too lenient in this country about everything. You know.
I'm gonna try one more. I'm
Here
gonna try
too.
one more angle. I got one
Okay.
more angle for you. Okay.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client here was taking the Tesla out for a test drive, and a mob of pink-haired, blue-haired Antifa started chasing him.
Right.
He parked the car and he fled for his life.
There you
This
go.
was just an act of self-defense.
Okay, and I say roll the footage because everybody knows.
right.
Although you almost had me with he thought he could drive back home.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
So you're saying,
that's-
John, you're saying I planted a seed of reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
did actually. That's a good.
All you got to do. The glove don't fit. You must have quit.
That's right. Let's see. What would be the Johnny Cochran aphorism for this one? If the Tesla don't drive,
If
you
the
must
self-drive
abide.
don't arrive, the charge must not arrive. Yes.
Yeah, if the car don't drive, then he gets the slide.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Craig, what we got for topic 2?
Yes. So topic 2 comes to us from the BBC. Tormenting Harris hawk is captured. They finally caught this thing. So this hawk here was I don't know if it's one hawk or a series of hawks in this town. Sorry, I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna mispronounce it in any case, so I don't want to do that. But this hawk has been terrorizing these people in this town. It does swooping dives. It's taking chunks out of people's skulls. But they finally isolated the hawk and caught it. And basically, a lot of these comments are his story for how he finally apprehended it.
John, as you're going about your work in Manhattan, do you ever encounter hawks, or is it just pigeons?
In Manhattan, no, but I live out in the woods. So when I first moved out here, I forgot what we were doing, but I was waving. My wife was going in the car driving, and she stopped and she's looking. So I'm like, what's going on? So I walked out the front because I thought something was wrong. You know, she had a look of concern in her face, and she's like this. So I turn around and I say hawk. I'm not an ornithologist. I don't know. But in the tree, there was a huge hawk, and it had either a squirrel or a rabbit or something like that. And it's just eating it, blood all over the place. And it was you. And I'm like, because I was, in Queens, and now I'm out in the country. And so I'm like, oh, and I'm looking at it, and I'm walking up to, and then the bird started to crouch down. And I realized I'm threatening this bird.
Mm.
And it was huge, and it was kind of scary. And I was like, okay, Mr. Bird, eat your bunny rabbit. I'm going back in the house, So these things are scary. They're big.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of on the side of animals. Don't move into an animal's habitat. And then get, like when I was living in New Mexico, people were buying and building houses up and down the mountain where the coyotes live, and then they were getting mad that their little chihuahuas and poodles were getting eaten by coyotes. It's like, what are these things have been there for hundreds of years? So like I had friends that they live someplace in California, and one of their neighbor kids got attacked by a mountain lion or something, and it's like, sorry, but you build your house out there in a animal habitat, but so
I'm on the
on
other
the
side of
side
Maine, like where Maine is, and then
Yeah.
if you go east of it, basically what would have been the 14th colony. But yeah, I get cougars, not cougars, sorry, coyotes. I get
you
lynx.
get
I get
45-year-old
lynx.
women hitting on 17-year-olds.
And people doing human trafficking. Yes, it's very coyotes and cougars.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for the most part, like you say, you just leave them alone and let them do their thing, and
It's funny because there was a bird. I think it was like a crow or something that lived in a park by me, and it was famous. You'd ride your bike only on bicycles. I guess it was the speed or whatever. But if you rode your bicycle, this thing would swoop down and peck you in the head,
Mm.
and you saw stars, man. It hurt,
Mhm.
And it was funny because, like, after we realized that, we would get other kids, hey, let's go over here, and then watch them get pecked by this bird, So, did they hurt the bird? I don't know. It's like, and I could see if it is a hawk, it probably ripped flesh out of people, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
They've done studies with crows where they'll have like one person come in with a certain face and he'll antagonize the crows and the rest of the people are nice. And eventually, like they'll even just do it to one crow. The crow will become hostile to the one face.
Right.
And then they'll put the crow with a murder of crows and it'll teach the other crows to hate the one person and like the other
Right.
people. And
Yeah.
they just pass the message along. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Do they get super chats when they do that?
Right.
I like Odin is my favorite fictional character of all time. So I like ravens, and my wife took me to Iceland, and I got to see ravens. How big they are! I didn't realize they were so big, and the people there were saying like some of the ravens they'll live like 60 years, and they'll leave gifts. They have favorite people. You know what I mean? How cool would that be to have like a raven friend for your entire life?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sympathetic to the hawk, but you also can't have little kids going outside getting flesh ripped out by a hawk. So what do they do? Relocate it or something like that?
Or carry it off.
I don't want them to kill the hawk. It's just doing what nature does.
So Abrax mentions that crows do hold grudges, which so Craig, you were dead on there. And then Zactan said at least it wasn't a goose.
That's right.
Oh man, we had a goose named Matilda in that same park. This park was just evil birds, and it had a park. And we would go in with bread and feed the duck.
Yeah.
Which we found out you shouldn't be doing later on. And Matilda would
why? Because they learn how to hunt
right out of your hand with her beak. We were like kids, like, no, I don't want to go to the park. Matilda's gonna get us. Like we were terrified of Matilda.
So wait. So what happens if you feed the ducks? Do they forget how they forget how to hunt? What's going on?
No, they poop.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's like they can't digest it or something like that. So it's just slick, like you just walking and sliding it because it's just a sliding oil slick.
So Mark's Music Obsession says, I have a bald eagle pair that nests about 200 yards from my house on the edge of the bay. Big birds.
Yes.
So to dovetail on, that was an intentional pun. To dovetail on what Mark's saying there, about 10 years ago, I was jogging. It was at dusk, and I came down this hill, and it was kind of near a pond. And from behind me, I'm going to say it's about 10 feet above me, this bald eagle flew right over in the same direction I was running. And it was like genetic memories of like fear and terror. And I stopped it wasn't just that it spooked me. It was so big.
Yeah,
It was
eagles
so
are
big, and I was like, and like the mammalian part of my brain said predator. I'm like, whoa, and it was just huge. So yeah, they are very, very big, very big.
Large birds are scary. What are those birds that they show now? You see them? They look like dinosaurs. They got
the duckbill things.
Yeah.
Those things are nasty.
Well, speaking of third story that I can go over this week, they brought back dire wolves. Well, looked like dire wolves. They just brought them back. So well, Jurassic Park has begun.
So Nick of Time has got a strange legal stance here. He thinks that animals need to follow the same murder laws as humans. So Nick of Time, is that if an animal kills a human being or if animals kill each other? Because they're doing that all the time.
Do you remember Planet of the Ape? Kill ape.
Right. Well, that's why we have fast food restaurants, so we don't have to kill it. We can just have it served up for us. But is there anything more you want to talk on with regards to the hawks that was basically stalking people and attacking them?
Yeah. So
this is a good comic book idea. Like, what if there was like a supervillain that like controlled the hawks, or what if it was an intelligent hawk keeping the humans away from some horrible evil? Like,
or even like on Matlock or Murder She Wrote, was there ever like somebody got killed by a hawk and they figured out it was a trained hawk? I mean,
oh, there you go. There you go. This excuse me. Yeah, does anybody on the panel or in the chat, do they look at the news and come up with story seeds?
oh yeah, like all the time. More
Yeah.
more ideas than I can I'll clip stuff and I'll be like, I can do something with that someday.
Especially conspiracy theories, yeah.
Nice.
Logic's Finest says he's here to fully support John and not bump heads.
Thank you, Logic.
No fear of that, buddy. No fear of that.
Logic is good. I love his comments. Got
So
good comments.
what comic does Logic Finest do?
No, he's got good, thoughtful comments.
Oh, good.
You know,
Very good.
we argued stuff, and then he always says interesting things.
So Craig, in Soul Tech,
Yes.
doesn't one of your guys have killer gerbils?
Flying feral ferrets. Yes.
Did you get that idea from these man hunting hawks?
No, I seen ferrets in the wild, and I think I had a friend who had a pet ferret, and I was impressed with how intelligent they were. And then, with my comic, I tried to incorporate everything. There's seriousness, there's fighting, but there's also that comedic relief. With the hero's journey, you gotta put a little bit of it all in there, right? So that's what they provide.
Nick of Time wants to comment on the Circle of Life. Yes, Nick of Time, you are correct. You are correct. but Nick of Time, no carrot is going to catch me. I'm too fast.
Right.
So this topic of the Hawks, our investigative team did a bit of a deep dive on this topic. So John, we're gonna run some scenarios by you. This is the Hawk Tua investigative report. All right, next slide.
Speaking of content on my channel that hasn't gotten it struck, I got the full video to this interview on my channel.
Look who's here. Oh, look who's here.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a drive-by by our friend Hojo in the Mythicals machine. Go check out Mythicals 1, 2, and 3 and back Hojo.
Yeah.
I think I'm back. I think I'm backer 1 on issue 2, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm sticking with that. Thanks.
All right,
I gotta
John.
say, that is sexy, and that girl looks good too.
Oh yeah. So John, who would win in a fight, Hawkman or Hawkgirl?
Geez. Hawkgirl is known for her ferociousness, but this guy is awesome. I forget the actor's name, but I just love Prince Vultan. Right? I just love him. I want him to win.
That's not Hawkman.
No,
that was Hawkman.
That's Prince Vultan from Flash Gordon.
Craig, we need to hire new investigative reporters. They can't get anything right. They can't.
See why I want more people on the panel, so you can't pull so many over my head. That's why, Jason.
If it was Hawkman versus Hawkgirl, Hawkman wins. But Prince Vultan beats everybody because of that voice. Go watch Flash Gordon. Brian Blessed.
Yes,
voice is awesome.
Whenever I see Brian Blessed, what's that?
I said he commits to the bit, man. This guy loves this performance. It is awesome.
When I see Brian Blessed, I always get pulled back to I Claudius when he played Augustus Caesar. That's my like. Oh, wow. Yeah, this plus when he played Hawkman in the Flash.
Is that a comedy or something? I Claudius. No?
It's a BBC it's a BBC teleseries about the Roman Emperor Claudius. Yeah. Who was the emperor after Caligula, but it shows the palace intrigue from the time of Augustus Caesar all the way through when.
It's great. Good read. I that's the kind of stuff I like to read. And Patrick Stewart is one of them. I forget who he plays. Nice. In the BBC production. It's one of his first roles back when he had hair. But I gotta say,
I saw everything that has anything to do with Rome. You always find something else.
Claudius is awesome. She looks awesome in that costume. I got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. You're gonna see more of her tonight. And Nick of Time, he's saying Hawkman, but I'm saying Nick of Time, if you saw Hot Girl there, you'd be too distracted to fight. So
Yeah.
let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
Cosplay girls make better costumes than movies
They do.
because they care.
Yeah, they do. Zach Tan says Hot Girl has plot armor. I don't know. We'll see. And Brain Blessed or Brian Blessed. Very good. And a fellow American who saw I, Claudius. Salute. Yes.
If I may brag right now, that's my college degree is Greco-Roman history.
It is. Okay, well, there you go. I should have guessed with a character called the Patriarch.
Yeah.
And the Roman imperial colors. All right, so I think the consensus is that Hawk Girl is a fan favorite, but people think that Hawkman would beat Hawk Girl. All right, let's see. Let's check out the next matchup. All right, John, who would win, Condor Man or Hawk Girl?
That's what's his name? Don't tell me. The actor. Oh God. From Three's Company, right?
I don't know. I saw Condor Man so long ago I can't remember.
Yeah, the actor who died.
What was his name?
But he was from Three's Company. But I didn't see Condor Man, and that's Michael Keaton was in that movie, right? He was like the mentor to.
I think it's Birdman.
Birdman. So I'm thinking of different Condor
John
Man.
Ritter.
John Ritter. Is that John Ritter?
No, it's not John. He was in Hero at Large.
Okay, so I'm going with Hawk Girl.
All right, Craig, who would win in a fight?
Because let's be realistic, it's going to devolve into a wrestling match, and who would you rather?
I'm just gonna pick Hot Girl.
Yeah.
Mark's Music Obsession says flying blind on a rocket cycle. Yes, and then words of wisdom for Maromi. Dive.
Wait a minute. Is Jesus standing behind Condor Man?
I think that's the stunt coordinator.
Okay, because it looks like sandals and a toga, and it looks like there's a halo above the wings.
So
is this like a foreshadowing that he dies?
It could be. Martin Stevenson says Michael Crawford. That might be the actor.
Okay, so I got mixed up.
Hot Girl for the win. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick of Time. I think we're on the same wave with Nick of Time. And Oscar Carino says, "Love Condor Man as a child. Why is it not on Disney Plus?"
I got to give a shout out. Oscar Carino is my colorist, and he's the artist for Eddie is Doomed. Super talented guy.
Nice.
Good. Thank you for joining us, Oscar.
We need more colorists around, and because definitely colorists is that one job that everyone's always hurting to find more of.
It makes or breaks. It could be in terms of setting a mood, in terms of making the art pop, in terms of helping direct the eye. Coloring is super huge. I have one of the best colorists in the industry working for me. Abrax says Hot Girl is the first female superhero. I did not know that. That's interesting. Okay, and started out wearing the wings as a decoy in an early story.
Wasn't Miss Fury the first?
I don't know. We may have to Wikipedia that. We'll see. And then Nick of Time says, John, what does Roman history say about Jesus? Interesting.
Nothing. The Romans don't really have anything written about him. It was really a minor incident as far as Romans during the time of Tiberius.
Yeah.
Nick of Time says, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to read the comments. I forget that I'm not on my.
No. Yeah, you got your reflexes are
right.
phone. Why don't you take this one?
You don't want anything good on Disney Plus. No, Miss Fury, I think beat Wonder Woman by like a matter of weeks or something like that. But then there's always a debate: was she a superhero? Did she have superpowers? But is Batman a superhero? He didn't have superpowers. Condor Man, loved that film as a kid. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again.
No, this is good.
No, it's awesome.
It takes the pressure off of me. So, Craig, in The Lord of the Rings, isn't there a guy named Gondor Man?
That's right. Yeah. Don't go to Gondor.
All right. So, my vote is that Hawk Girl wins. John, what's your final verdict on whether Condor Man beats Hawk Girl?
Yeah, Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl.
All right. Craig, next one.
Yeah, I'm going to vote her every time.
All right, John, who wins in the matchup?
Wow. I didn't think anybody remembered this show but me.
John, I was saving this for you, my buddy.
They
Yeah.
had
who
toys
wins-
for this too.
Who
Hey?
wins?
Manimal.
What's that? I don't know if they made choice. Who wins in a fight, Manimal or Hot Girl?
Ah, man. Well, again, it's going to devolve into a wrestling match, and Manimal could turn into like freaking Claude stuff. So he's going to rip your face off. So I'd rather fight Hawk Girl, but I think Manimal will win. But
Well,
I was so excited when this show came out because the commercial for it was like him turning into an animal. Oh man, do you know what year this was?
it was like 83, 82, somewhere in there.
Yes, I was in a grade school when this came out.
When
Yeah.
did Manimal come out? I love technology. September 1983.
All right, 1983. I
Craig,
graduated
Craig, did they allow Manimal up in Canada, or was that off?
Yes. I'm telling you, I thought there was toys. I was pretty sure there was toys. You could change the cast, the animal overlay that you put on the figure. It's like a James Bond sort of thing. Yeah.
And Philbo Baggins has a good call out. That I think that is the actress that played Dale Arden in the Flash Gordon movie with Brian Blessed. So this is all weaving back together.
Oh, the actress in Manimal? Wow.
Yeah, he thinks it looks like her. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Go Flash, go.
Nice.
And Vulcan says this would be a main event fight. Yep,
For
definitely.
sure.
All right, so John, I'm glad I got to crack you up with the Manimal. Do you think the world is ripe for a Manimal reboot if they do it right?
Yeah. And they should explore gender identity with them too. They should call him Femanimal.
His pronouns are pack and murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd be personable here in Canada.
Yeah. Femanimal. You know, he could only turn into female animals. And then there you go.
All right, Craig, who wins in a fight?
Hot Girl. Still.
Okay. All right, next matchup. Automan. John, you remember Automan?
I don't know this at all. This is obviously a Tron ripoff. So this,
Tron, yeah, I see Tron ripoff.
Oh my God! So this is such a deep cut. You don't even recall this.
I never saw this.
All right, so I think this show lasted like it was at least 6 episodes. Maybe it was one season. It's lost in the midst of history. But there was a show called Automan about the time that Tron came out, and the idea with Automan was there's this computer guy who made an artificial intelligence guy named Automan who could turn. He looked like Tron. He could turn into a car or turn into a microwave, but he could only come out at night.
Power turning into a microwave. There we go.
But his deal was
I got a character in Heroic Tales 3 who turns into a hairdryer. The funny thing is, you throw him in the tub and he electrocutes people.
There you go. You're seeing a tub of water as his kryptonite.
So he was like Uber Eats before Uber Eats existed, right?
Automan. I don't know about you, but when it comes to a fight, I want to fight Automan. I want to punch that guy in the face.
But the deal with Automan was that he could only come out. He could only come around at night when the electrical load across the network was at its low point. During the day, as people would turn on their stuff, turn on their appliances, there wasn't enough power to run Automan. So that was like the constraint with the plots. He had to help the guy solve.
Oh, so he had a Marvel weakness. That made sense.
Yes.
I just want to know who's the naked guy in the shadows behind him.
All right, let's catch up with the chat here. Tony says Desi Arnaz Jr. What was in that? Was he Automan? Maybe he was Automan.
Desi Arnaz Jr. And if it is Desi Arnaz Jr., I want him to talk like Desi Arnaz Sr. and be like, Lucy, there's not enough power. I can't turn into a car.
You got some splaining to do.
You got explaining to do. I can't turn into a toaster.
Oscar, are you pulling our leg or was it true? Was Automan a big hit in Mexico? You tell us if you're pulling our leg or not. I'm not Philbo. I'm not sure. I just know that the 10 or 11-year-old me thought Automan was kind of cool. Not as cool as Manimal, but kind of cool. What I really wanted and never got
now
was
we got to ask the question: who would win in a fight, Automan or Kit?
Good question. Probably. Remember when Kit had the evil twin car?
Yeah.
See, this reminds me of Captain Power. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that one. Someone, no, I do not remember that one. But what I wanted, I always wanted a Manimal Automan crossover. Never got it. Never got it.
Man or
the-
Automan. With the question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah, man or Automan.
they were
Man
just
or-
they were just leaving money on the table. We would have watched the hell out of that.
Well, you know,
Automan versus Manimal.
if they have Manimal and Automan, you know what's missing. They got to have Veggie Boy. So you have like animal, mineral, vegetable.
There you go. Yeah. All right, Craig. Who wins in a fight, Hot Girl or Automan?
Gonna have to say Hot Girl. I don't even know who Automan is. So, yeah.
Nick of Time. That is correct. He would turn. He'd be standing there, and then he would turn into appliances or cars, and solve crimes or stop crimes and solve mysteries. It was like Murder She Wrote, but he was glowing blue and could turn into a toaster.
Before morning comes, and then he would disappear.
Street Hawk. Logic's Finest asks, who remembers Street Hawk? I do not.
I do not.
Does that ring a bell? Anybody?
No.
Okay, so dirty old dirty fatty. That's just exactly the kind of question I would expect from you. Who is the hot girl? That's our hot. That's the Friday nights our hot girl. That's who that is. I remember the Greatest American Hero.
It's the greatest theme song ever.
Great
Fun.
theme song and a great show. It was legitimately a great show.
It was a good show. It was a good premise because it's a quintessential American feature that nobody reads the instruction manual.
I would always watch the Greatest American Hero and Fall Guy back to back.
Oh yeah, Fall Guy
there
was
you
good.
go.
Oh, let's see here. We got so he's an upgrade from Ben 10. Kind of in a way.
Does Ben Gret 10 turn into a toaster or?
Ben 10 can turn into different aliens. Logic Finest asks, who remembers the super train? That was that police officer from about a year ago.
Right?
Yes,
Right. Right. That was January 2024, wasn't it, or something?
All right. Heroinberg says, Automan was a fun show. Yes, it was. It was like Tron meets Knight Rider. I can see that. There was also a great electro track called Automan by the legendary group New Clues. Remember Jam on it. So we may have to hunt down that track.
Nice.
Heroinberg knows everything. If you make a mistake and Heroinberg's in the audience, pressure is on. He knows everything.
Old Dirty Fatty's right. He did lose the instructions, and that was thanks to the show. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, and then I think Craig, was there one more slide or was that it?
Yeah, no, that was it. That was
Okay,
the last slide.
nice.
So I brought back our Hawk.
All right, so John,
I just want to say I'm relieved that we're not talking about the Hawk Tour girl. So I was panicking for a second.
This I've been saved. I was saving Automan and Manimal for you, and I wanted to do a bait and switch with the Hawk Tua girl, and Craig gave me the perfect excuse, the perfect layup for my slam dunk by bringing up this Hawk story.
Can I touch on Bitcoin and e coins for just 1 second?
Yep.
Treat them like you treat the casino. Don't put your entire life savings into those things.
Unless it's the Soltac NFT.
Right.
Mark Boyd says, who would win, Hawk Girl or Hawk Tua Girl? Everybody knows it would be Hawk Girl. She's the fan favorite. And based upon the feedback from the chat, I think Hawk Girl is going to make a comeback. I think she's going to be a recurring character on the show, but we won't.
Yeah, she was. What I liked about her is like she was like a regular girl, but hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she wasn't like that washboard and supermodel chick. She was sexy. Bosom buddies, yes. Tom Hanks in a dress. His first
Peter Scalaria and Tom
Hanks.
Hanks.
An episode of a Taxi before that, and before that he was in that Dungeons and Dragons
Mazes and Monsters. Mazes and Monsters.
My father wouldn't let me watch Bosom Buddies. It had transgenderism in it.
Transvestitism?
Yeah.
Craig, when did transvestitism become transgenderism? Is that when America took the wrong turn?
It's That's actually going to be, if I could get to like issue 15 of Heroic Tales, that's actually going to be a topic. Apollo versus Dionysus. Dionysus brings transgenderism and the depths of civilizations. So how's that for Roman and Greek history?
Good one.
Wherever
Good one.
Dionysus comes, it could transgenderism and the death of a civilization. So right now we must fight Dionysus and bring us back to Apollo.
That's right. Tony's got it. So John, I know in your show you do that clobbering time where you match up people and say who would win. So you're an expert at this. Hawk Girl versus Dawnstar from the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, this
Who
is
would win?
Battle of the Hot Chicks. So the fans win. Oh my God, Dawnstar is no joke one of the sexiest superhero characters of all time. But Hawk Girl will beat the crap out of her. She's no good in combat. She's got super tracking ability. The best she could do is flee because she could flap her wings at hyper flight speeds. But Hawk Girl will beat the crap out of her. Hawk Girl is the warrior. Dawnstar is the tracker.
Logic's Finest wants to do a shout out for the Spider-Man TV show from the 70s with who's the actor? It was I forget his name.
Too.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but that was a good show for
Yeah,
the
that was
budget
another
it had.
show.
It was a good
Guys,
show.
we're taking it for granted how much superhero material back then. That was the best we got, and we loved it. It was that and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Heroenberg says, speaking of 1980s shows, does anyone remember Lucan, the boy with wolf powers who was raised by wolves? It ran one season, had a $6 million man feel. I do not remember that one.
I
Do
remember
either of
that.
you remember that one?
Yeah. Do you remember the man from Atlantis?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, I just vaguely. And it was a guy from Knots Landing,
Yeah, no, Dallas.
Dallas. Okay. Yeah, I
JR.
can't. So here's how nerdy I was. When in the 1970s, when that man from Atlantis would come on, I was like, that's not Prince Namor. That's how nerdy I was. All right. Oh,
He swam like an eel. John, did you just threaten your audience with trannies? No, I threatened them against trannies. I'm on Team Apollo.
all right. So Abrax went to Wikipedia or his comic
we
book
go.
collection and he has got a call out.
Sheer
All right.
Okay. All
very
right.
good.
A little bit of trivia.
Yeah. I when I was a little kid, I loved Land of the Lost, and when the Slee Stacks would come on, I would like kind of hide behind the couch, and I would just like look over the couch at the Slee Stacks.
I tell you, man, the Slee Stacks are legit great design.
Yeah,
I love Fleet Stacks to the point, you know, when we find the alien Illuminante, because I said there's going to be conspiracy theory, I really want them to look like Slee Stacks. You know, they are so cool. There we go. Herenberg's got my back.
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I think she's got super strength and she's got alien tech.
Yeah, she has the nth metal amulet that warps gravity, so she you know she could use it to enhance her strength and survive in space and stuff like that.
So Logic's Finest is dogging on the 1970s cat movies. Dude, it was all we had. It was all we had.
Yeah. Patrick Duffy, I couldn't remember his name. Yeah.
Mm.
The ISIS Shazam out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was her name? Joe. What was the actress? Joanne Cameron, I think is her name. She was so cute.
Okay. Interesting. I may have to hunt down some. What I'll do is I'll go on YouTube and look up Lucan and see if it jogs a memory. Sometimes I just completely forgotten about a show, but if I see it, it's like, oh, the synapses fire and I can remember it. I may not be from the 80s, but I remember a cartoon about a boy in Mexico who became a superhero named El Tiger. Good show, rushed ending, but the same guy that wrote the Book of Life.
Never heard of that.
Captain Marvel, I'll never call him Shazam. Yep.
Absolutely. I love Captain Marvel. He's one of my favorite superheroes of all time. Just so cool. And hasn't gotten the last time he was any good was in DC's Power of Shazam with Jerry Ordway doing it.
Kathy Lee
Kathleen
Crosby.
Crosby played live action superhero. Yeah, she was Wonder Woman in the pilot.
Oh, interesting.
It was her, and Deborah Winger was Wonder Girl.
Tony. No, Tony, I think they might try to, but I don't think so. Not our Hawk Girl.
I would believe it. I mean, why not?
All right, Craig, what is topic number? We have third topic tonight.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Three tops.
let's blast through it so we can look at Heroic Tales 2 and get some eyeballs on that thing.
So our third and final topic for this evening comes to us from Upworthy. Yeah, teacher who goes above and beyond for her biology lesson wears anatomically correct suit. So this teacher, I don't know if her name's Veronica Duque or whatever yet. So she wears these different suits. She has this. She wears a skeleton suit, but it went viral when her husband decided to take pictures of her in the anatomical suit and post them online, and then bam, that went viral.
I was just about to say that, Phil. I was being quiet, but Slim Goodbody did it first.
And Slim Goodbody was much less busy.
So what do you think of this? I mean, it's bad enough we have all the instances of teachers crossing the line, but are you okay with teachers wearing skin suits?
I think this is the worst superhero costume of all time. That's what I think.
The Visible Woman.
The Visible Woman. Oh, ouch. Ouch.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
Yeah.
Like I all I know is as a young teenage boy in class, I think I'd like it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it is a clever idea to get kids to remember stuff. It's not obscene. You know, teachers wear like jogging shorts to work now. Teachers dress. I do believe that like teachers should have a dress code, dress standard, and everything. First off, I would like to say, as a former public school teacher, I hate teachers. I never met a bigger group of crybabies that want to be patted on the back for doing a piss poor job. But this is clever, at least. You know, teaching stuff, get my attention.
Yep, that's fair.
It's I don't know, and it's Spain anyway, so it's none of our business.
Oh, is it in Spain?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, heck, they've got like boobs on TV commercials there. I mean, this is
I know.
Craig, what were you thinking? What this isn't, Craig? You tried to rile us up, and this is just completely not what you. This is not as you advertised, Craig. This is not anywhere near as scandalous as you advertised.
Sorry, I didn't realize topics that weren't and things that happen elsewhere in the world mattered.
I'm an American.
It's all about the mores.
Canadian. He cares about the rest of. I'm an American. I don't care about the rest of the world.
Nick of Time agrees with John about teachers being worthless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I was a 14-year-old boy in this class, I'd be like, show me more about your digestive tract.
Oh yeah,
at least this is educational.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Is it like, can I go to the library for skin tight bodysuit story time? Old Dirty Fatty says boo to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And we don't expect much prudence from Europe. That is correct. That is correct.
Well,
all right. So go ahead.
This is Europe, but I just pictured her to be naked. You know,
yeah.
This is actually pretty conservative for Spain.
You know, they wouldn't let me leave the airport in Spain. They kept me in there. They wouldn't let me out on the town.
Craig, if this woman was in like Syria or Iran, would she get stoned?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure.
Well, she wouldn't be allowed to be a teacher, right?
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. Hitterwinberg says Spain is great. Salvador Dali was from Spain. Let's see here.
We all know they all look like Ana de Armas, right? Isn't it like?
Yeah. Well, we wish. I think she's Cuban, technically. All right. Yep. And all right. So let's look at Heroic Tales 2. Craig, Can you bring up the campaign? Let's do a baseline and see where John's at here, because I think this he's in week 1, I think. Let's see. Let's do a baseline and see where he's at in terms of backers.
Can I first and foremost play the trailer? Because he's got a
trailer. That's fine. Yep.
Sure.
All right. So we have 95 watching, joining us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We're an hour into the show. Here is the trailer for Heroic Tales 2.
All right, you already had a fantastic creative team, but then you take it up a notch by getting a Josh Howard cover. John, you're doing everything right. This is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm such a big fan. What you know, you got to do a variant cover. It's just the economics of the thing. And I said, I got a girl character. Josh Howard draws the cutest girls, so
Mhm.
it was just like a no brainer. You know, and I wasn't planning ahead. I bought the original artwork too.
Oh,
you know?
nice.
So I paid him for the work and then bought the artwork off him. Just awesome.
Nice. All right, so we're at a baseline of 51 backers. We got about a half hour to look at this campaign in depth. Phil Bobagan says, great trailer. Who did your trailer?
Kyle Prometheus.
Oh, nice. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he sent me a trailer for free for the first issue, and I also have to say that Phantasmagoria Girl sent me a trailer for the first issue too.
Nice.
Everybody's so nice and helpful.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I get so fed up with all this drama. When there's all this nice people helping each other out, like the drama gets all the traction, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and he made another trailer for me, and everybody's been so helpful. Look at that cover. I'm so proud of that cover. And it's funny because I said to Renzo, I was like, Renzo, for this comic is a flip book, just like Jason's book. It you flip it over and there's two covers. So I said, for the Mary Sue, I said, how about we do like, you see like all the scenes broken up, and Renzo just goes like Fantastic Four 202. Like he knew exactly the comic that I was referencing. So it's not an homage. It's not, but it's using the same motif, I guess. So these are all the scenes from the comic. I just love this. And I was like, Kirby Crackle. He's like, I got it.
Nice.
Not one, the whole Mary Sue story, everything Renzo said, not one revision, not one change. I think we're just jiving on the same wavelength. It's so good. So much fun.
Nice.
So there, that's the whole story. If you could, figure out look at that cover, you'll see, okay, that's everything that happens. And Bill Williams, the letterer, he also works with Bill Willingham and everything. He gave me feedback. He said that Mary Sue story is so good. He didn't read the Patriarch story yet because it's Renzo's not finished drawing it. So I give it to the letterer in one shot. But he lettered up the Mary Sue story. So that's done. And he's like, it's really good, John. You wrote it in a complicated way that makes sense. So there's that. I got that going for me, which is nice.
Nice.
Like I said, where do you go? You're already perfect. So where do you go from there? See, it's a flip book.
Okay.
Just like Jupiter.
Nice.
Those are the two Renzo covers. And if you scroll down, you can see it better, on upside down. So that's, the Patriarch story is about 22 pages. Patriarch, it's literally the day after issue 1. So if he was kind of beat up and everything, and he was tired, and he wants to spend the day with his wife and kids. And he basically tells them, because I got to take a day off once in a while. And then she's like, oh, great. We're going to make breakfast, and all the kids have been waiting. We're going to do this. And then he makes the mistake while she's in the shower. He turns on the TV and sees the news. A kid fell into a sinkhole, and they can't get him out. So, there goes the day off.
Yeah.
And there he goes. He battles the subterranean. So,
Life of a superhero.
right. The life and the subterranean. He's like the Mole Man and the Hulk mixed together, with a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft just thrown in there.
Nice.
I love that.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the flip book that shows you what it's going to look like when you buy it. I thought it would be like a couple of people who were like, you should have made 4 comics and then you would have gotten $40. But then I would have had to get a back. I would have had to get art for the back page anyway. You know what I mean? I did. So I was like, I think this works. Yeah, I love Renzo's art too. Even Renzo says that the Mary Sue story is the best artwork of his career. And then Oscar, who's in the chat, he colored it. It is so good. So good. Hey, David Evanson, he's one of my buddies who lives over here. He had the pleasure of fighting the subterranean. Because what am I talking about? I play a role-playing game called Village Vigilantes. The character went on an adventure that was like a prototype for this story.
That
Nice.
that Villains and Vigilantes, was that from the 80s?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I remember seeing that around. Never played it, so I backed and I picked the Josh Howard cover.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously,
1982. I've been playing this since 1982, and just you see that the village, the badge. If you buy my, you get cards. So each one of the characters is going to have a, like this is Dr. Robug from issue 1, and then on the back that has their village. So if you ever,
Hold on, give me a second. I'll give you full screen here.
yeah, if you ever go to a dusty old hobby shop and find one of these underneath, like a 40-year-old Dungeons and Dragons Volume 1 book,
Okay.
you could use these cards and use them as characters in your superhero role playing game. I freaking
Nice.
love this superhero game. I house rule it a lot, but there's no other. And I use that system for if we play Dungeons and Dragons, I use the Village of Vigilantes rules.
Nice.
we have 107 people watching live, including K-pop Junkie.
Hey,
John,
K-pop.
have you been on with K-pop?
No, we keep flirting with the idea of me coming on our channel, and we never said anything.
Yep, K-pop. You got to have him on. Got to have him
Yeah,
on.
I'd love to. And K-pop, come on my channel too. Talk.
Got a question from Nick of Time. So the Patriarch and Mary Sue aren't related or married. Is that correct?
No, they don't even know each other in
Okay.
the story. It's literally said at the same time. That's one of the things I'm going to do is put the actual date in the comics, because some stories are going to be in the past and stuff. So if you ever want to read them chronologically, you get to. But the Patriarch is married to Marissa. That's the woman that was in the shower. He's in love with his wife. His wife is in love with him. They want to be together. They're a happily married couple. They have 7 children together. It's obvious that something happened to his wife. I didn't talk about it yet.
Yep.
That'll be in a future issue. And Mary Sue is a 22-year-old girl raised in Flushing, Queens. Her grandparents fled Mao Zedong's China in the 50s. They came to America because they were Roman Catholic, and under Mao Zedong you had 3 choices: convert, die, or leave. They chose leave. But I've actually talked to guys that I work with who in this, you literally leave with nothing. They take your bank account. They took everything. So this family came as legit refugees, opened up like a little corner bodega kind of thing, if you'd call it whatever a Chinese version of a bodega would be, and then built it up into a chain store, a supermarket.
Nice.
So now Mary Sue's parents run Sue Mart. So she's born into wealth. She's got like multiple PhDs at the age of 22. She's perfect.
Nice.
So where do you go from perfect? Well, you get the ultimate power. But she's the ultimate power, but you'll see there's consequences to having the ultimate power.
So in terms of what you said about Mao Zedong, I guess it is true that China is asshole.
China is asshole.
So Crenshaw,
this is Mao Zedong's tongue coming over here trying to get
Hey, Craig, when is Mao Zedong's dentist appointment?
at 2:30.
2:30. 2:30.
John's on fire. Yeah.
Craig, John knows all my punchlines. This is no fun. Crenshaw, good to see you, sir. Welcome to the chat. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'm sure that he'll at some point do a review of Heroic Tales 1 and 2. He does great little reviews. Nick of Time says, just saying they have similar personas. Well, that remains to be seen. Got to read
That
the book
remains to be
first.
seen. I will respectfully disagree. At 22, you'll marry her. Okay. Surety. It's funny because I got to share something with you. I'll find it and share it with you if I could get my mouth to work.
Yep.
But
I'm just flipping through sequential pages.
Yeah. And
I'm
John,
making
while you're... Did we freeze? Did I freeze or did you freeze?
I think John's roboting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, John, you're roboting just a little bit.
Is you?
Yeah.
There, I think
there's
you're
a
back.
storm over here.
I think you're back. Yep. So, John, one of the things that I liked about the first Heroic Tales is you plot people right into this kind of fully formed and well thought out universe. One of the things was the Patriarch's wife, because obviously you can see that she's been injured in some manner, and it kind of you present all of these threads, whereas the reader, you're like, I want him to pull on that thread. I want to see what's happening there. And I think that kind of you did a good job with issue 1.
Thank
And when people say, "Hey, the Patriarch's their favorite," I think it's just because you have a well-formed world, and you know what's happening, and you just drop the reader into it, and just like that sensation of being, when we were younger, we would pick up a issue off the spinner rack. We didn't have the issue before, and we weren't sure if we'd be able to get the next issue.
Right.
But we were in the middle of it, and we wanted more. And I think you captured that experience with the first issue.
Oh, thank you. Like, there's a crowd scene of all NPCs, I guess I'll call them, but the three, and like, I could pontificate for an hour about these 3 characters. That's the mayor, Lucius Kane. If the suit, the backup story, that's him now, because that suit was set in the past. That story was set. That's Regina, the emotionally disturbed stalker reporter. Oh, thank you, Vulcan. She's got a big story, and oh man, her story. I hope it tugs at your heart when you find out what happened to her, and why she's the way she is.
So Heroenberg says that he backed, so that's good. That's good.
Thank you, Heroenberg. And this is Oscar's coloring. He was in the chat earlier.
Oh,
that's
nice work. Nice work, Oscar.
So poor Mary Sue, she's perfect, but of course she's gonna have a scar on her face, from the accident in the lab. And I love this. I said, lots. Oh, thank you, Nick. Thank you. Lots of Kirby crackle.
Mm-hmm.
Nick. I'm getting distracted now. Renzo knew exactly. Kirby Crackle drew everything. When I wrote this script, I sent it to him, and this is like exactly, because now I know what Renzo's art's going to look like. This is like exactly what I was picturing. And you know what's funny? That first panel of the patriarch and his wife in the bed and then in the shower. Yeah, I didn't write it as explicit as that. Mm-hmm. And Renzo made it more explicit, so I'm going to have to be a little creative with the word balloons. And then the panel with Mary Sue, I actually wrote it a little bit more explicit, and he toned it down. And he was just like, "No, that's Mary Sue. She's my sweetheart." He didn't want to.
Yeah.
Craig, do you have that issue with him when does he do that to you, Craig, when you work with him?
I didn't work with Renzo. No.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. Wrong one.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad.
Oh, but what? Can I share? I was talking about stretch goal cards. I got something to share.
Sure.
So,
here. Do you get share screen? You mean?
Yeah, share screen.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Here we go.
So for every $1,000, we're gonna hit 3,000, and then after that, for every 1,000, I'm gonna release a card. And this is one of the first cards I showed you. He got such a great reaction. This is King Fu.
What's his name?
King Fu.
Yes.
Is there some Elvis in there?
He's an Elvis impersonator. He's the world's greatest martial artist and Elvis impersonator, and he's a superhero. So nice. People are like, "Oh my God, I got to know more about this character. I got to know more about." So I expanded his role. He has a cameo in the Patriarch story, but he's going to have a big role in next issue of Mary Sue. To the point, I had another Asian character, and I said, "There's no reason why I can't just use King Fu again." So because of his reaction, like I said, you got to give people what they want. So strike.
Does he have the Elvis one-liners? Like, thank you very much.
Take care of business. Keep
honka honka, burning love. Yeah.
He's a honka honka, burning love. So cool. I think the secret's already been spoiled. That there will be a Mary Sue King Fu love triangle. The third member, not the patriarch. He's with his wife. That's like one thing I'm adamant about. It's a happy marriage. Wow. He may flirt. Women may flirt with him, but at the end of the day, he's going home to his wife.
So with the Mary Sue, since she always so does she make good relationship decisions? If she given her superpower, does she make good relationship decisions, or does she make regretful ones?
She hasn't made any. That's one of the reasons why she's perfect, because perfect is a subjective term, she's perfect in the eyes of her grandmother. She's a virgin. She doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She
I'll
got
put the
straight
link in.
A's. You know, she got a 4.0 GPA. So she's perfect. You know what I mean? She's religious. She's a good girl. So now that she's thrust into the world of superheroes and stuff, now will she make bad romance decisions? I can't spoil it. But I already know her romantic life and how her story is going to end. And you guys got to.
Okay. So we've got 107
We're
people
funding issue
watching.
3.
We've got 107 people watching live. Craig just put the link in the chat. We started at 51 backers. Let's see what we can do in the next 10 minutes as the show wraps up. I think we've already picked up a fair amount of backers here. So thank you everybody for if you back, throw a shout out in the chat. Looking forward to Sunday's game of V&V. Very good.
So I'm just gonna go through the rest of the sequential pages there.
What in tarnation? Eric the Guapo wants to know. He wants to get to the bottom of this. What in tarnation?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Is that Mary Sue there as well?
Yeah, that's Mary Sue. That's the. In this fight, her bra was supposed to come off, and her hand was just covering her stuff. And Renzo was like, "Nope, she's 22."
Right.
I like the fact that he's very protective over her already.
Heroinberg's got some evil foreshadowing here.
So these are.
I was talking with Bill Williams, and I was telling him the future of Mary Sue, and I have if around issue 6, I'm like, I'm actively courting controversy. Like I'm writing a story that I'm hoping that like half the people are going to be outraged and half the people are going to be like, this is great. Yeah, that's so. We got to get there. You're
saying you're going to break the internet with issue 6.
Yeah, I'm going to break This is the card set. These, unfortunately, for issue 1, I only unlocked 4 of the stretch goal cards, but these are all because they're all made. So you could. This is the way I'm going to do it. Like they're free for the campaign, but for the next campaign, you could get the old campaign as a bundle. So for $10, you could get all 7 cards. There's Lucius Kane, the suit, Dr. Robug. I think Robug and the suit weren't released.
Mm-hmm.
And the red.
I got 4 of those. I've got the 3 with the spotlight, and then the one with the Patriarch.
You got the Patriarch. You got Boss Moxie. You got Maul, and you got Dame. So Gams, Dr. Robug, and the suit weren't unlocked. Yeah. And Maul, the hot redhead. Everybody loves a hot redhead. People were asking me about her, and I didn't really give him much thought. I was just like, Boss Moxie's got 3 hot chicks. I was like, a blonde, a redhead, and a black girl. He likes variety. So right. Renzo drew them in the showgirl outfits. And people just reacted to Maul. I guess she's the only one of the 3 that had any dialogue. So I got a story with her that, crazy redheads. I'll just leave it at that. It's going to be a horror story, I think, with her. She's the brains behind. Boss Moxie's a dupe. You saw him got taken out without even a punch. She's Maul is the scary one in the organization.
Dale backed. Thank you for backing Dale. He says he hopes it's good. Well, I read issue 1, so you're gonna enjoy it. We've got Heroinberg saying, "Wait, there are 3 characters named Dame, Maul, and Gams." Whoa.
Yeah, I told you, Heroinberg. I throw some sexy chicks in there.
And DM Evanson says, "Loves a redhead, don't we all? Don't we all?"
And I'll give another teaser. Issue 4 of Heroic Tales, Heroinberg. Reserve your copy now if you like hot chicks. That's going to be my breakout character.
So I'm just going to go through all the rewards you can get quickly. So
thank you.
Here you can get digital for $6. You can get is that black and white?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. But if you just want to spend $6, that's less than a Starbucks coffee.
Right.
You can grab that. You can get both issues 1 and 2 for $10, and there you go. You'll be completely caught up. And that's digital. And then starting with shipping costs, $10 plus shipping, you can get the Renzo cover.
Yep.
$10 for shipping, get the Josh and Jose Garcia cover. Shout out, Jose Garcia does more Rising as well.
Yeah. I love his artwork.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect because one of the things about the Subterranean is he's covered with mushrooms. So as you hit him, spores come out and you start to hallucinate.
Mm.
So when I was thinking about him, I was like, Jose Garcia would be perfect to draw this character because his artwork makes me hallucinate.
Yeah.
And that's his colors too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's super quick. If anybody wants to hire him, he is such a
Oh yeah.
professional.
Yeah, Aaron, our sometimes co-host. He does Immortal Rising, and Jose's the artist for that. Just does a phenomenal job.
So I sent a T-shirt because I got Mary Sue T-shirts. I sent a T-shirt to Martina Makota, Lady Alchemy. She has a comic, and I said, if I send you a T-shirt, would you pose? I was just thinking like help me sell T-shirts kind of thing. I get a hot chick. Look how great she looks. People said you got to make a cosplay cover. So this is just a mock-up. Luke Stone is making the cosplay cover, so it'll he said it'll probably get updated by the end of this weekend. But it literally, she sent me these pictures like the day before we released the campaign, so
wow.
I did get it. So, but look at that.
Yeah. So more to follow. Yeah, you gotta get the link to the campaign. Stay tuned.
So here, on a side note, Hero Winberg is pointing out that there was a news article this week that Gen Z have discovered that you could save money by making coffee at home.
I'll say this: you get yourself a Faberware Parkulator, and that is the best cup of coffee you will ever have. I cannot, I'll get coffee from Coffee Carts in Manhattan because I'm not at home. But
Yes, wait till they figure out if you eat,
There you go.
if you just stock your house with groceries. Yeah, you end up saving money.
If you buy a loaf of bread and some of that deli meat, you can make your own sandwich at home and not have to pay the restaurant. Come to the Friday nights for other life hacks, you Gen Z people.
I used to get like $5
an avocado costs an avocado costs $1. You can make toast at home for $1.50.
There you go.
I used to get $5 a day for lunch, and I'd go to the supermarket and I'd buy like a bun for 15 cents, a slice of meat for whatever. They'd put mustard on it, and I'd go to the 10-cent pop machine. So yeah, I'd spend 45 cents of that on my actual lunch, and then I'd pocket the rest.
Buy comic books. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
This here is the two bundles. So buy both comics. It's there's no savings on it. I'm sorry, guys, but $10 plus 10. I'm not making that much money anyway, so I couldn't justify a bundle. But you save on shipping.
Yeah.
So we got that. And then scrolling down here again. I'm narrating everything. I keep forgetting I'm not on my channel.
Okay,
it's okay.
This is issue 1 and issue 2 bundle. Now, this is something that I should tweak, but you're going to get the regular cover, the Renzo cover for issue number 1. But if you want a different cover, you got to email me. And I'm going to put out an update when it's time to fulfill. So, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to send somebody the cover and they're like, but I wanted the Gustovich cover. And then I got to send them in. So I'll remind everybody when it's time to.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Heroberg. Yes. There's a Martina Markova cosplay cover. Yep.
Nice.
And these are add-ons. Issue 1, I went a little crazy. It made 5 variant covers, but you only get one chance to make your first comic book. So why not? So they're still available while supplies last. And I am working on a second printing cover. And I'm not a big fan of homage covers. I kind of like the comic to but like I said, I'm a hypocrite. I'm making an homage cover, but it's not homaging a comic book.
Okay.
I'm being cryptic on purpose, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay, it's gonna be a phone book. You can homage a phone book.
It's going to be the Hebrew national hot dogs.
So
and here is another add-on, an additional copy. So this is just so you can save on shipping if you want to get 2 copies.
Yep.
I'm not out to screw anybody. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be fair. I still got pint glasses. You can get a pint glass as an add-on. These coins. I love these coins. I want to try to make a coin for every superhero that has a cool symbol. I love coins. This is a challenge coin. It's a big coin. I got these made because the small coins come from Norway.
Okay.
Forever, and I didn't think I was going to have them in time. Whereas these guys, Signature Coins, the name of the company, they were here in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
So I only ordered 12 of them because they're really expensive. I sold 4, so get it now while you can.
Yeah, there's limited quantity remaining.
T-shirts. This took me a long time to get the T-shirts the way I wanted. Every company, what they did was I sent them this picture, and I said I want that shirt. So what they did is they made a little square of that shirt on my shirt. I was like,
Mm.
that's not what I want. I want the shirt to look like you're putting on the Patriarch's costume. It took me forever, and I finally found a guy locally. He couldn't do it, but he explained to me what I had to be done. So I just Googled the process,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and people showed up. And this guy's got like a 2-week turnaround. I put in an order, I get the shirt in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Nice.
So whatever size you want. If I don't have it, I got a box of them right next to me. If I don't have it, I'll have it in 2 weeks. So order now.
Very cool.
And same with the Mary Sue.
Mhm.
I'm really proud of the symbol that I designed. I explained it in the issue. Like I said, Mary Sue is a Roman Catholic. The Patriarch is Eastern Orthodox Christian, but Mary Sue's a Roman Catholic. So when she went to school, she doesn't drink. She doesn't fool around. So she kind of got teased by everybody else. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you do. So she found a group of other, not Christian scientists, but scientists that were Christian. And I call them the St. Thomas Society because St. Thomas needed to look at the wounds of Jesus. He needed proof. So in my mind, St. Thomas is the patron saint of scientists. So they started a group, and that's her support group, and that's what she wears to the job interview. That's what she wears on the day of the big experiment because it's her lucky shirt, and now it becomes her superhero symbol.
Cool.
I just like that symbol. And is the add-on, you could get the pack of cards,
Yeah.
and then original Renzo artwork. These are one of a kind. You know, pencils, inks on paper. You know, the
8.5 by 11.
the standard comic book art pages.
Yeah.
I got them right over here. I bought a page of art from Renzo, so he sent me a big packet of all the art because to him to ship from Mexico is way too expensive. So I'm kind of acting as Renzo's art dealer now.
Yeah.
So we got
Wow.
a page. I love look at all the ants. To actually have that page and look at it, it's so freaking cool. I'm so tempted to buy all these myself, but
Yeah. I did the same thing. I got 8 from my artist and I kept 4 for myself, and then I sold the other 4.
yeah. There's Mal. I'm so tempted to keep that. Her real name is Molly Cusack. How's that for the ultimate 80s name?
I'd say first and foremost, give backers the opportunity to buy it, right? And if they don't,
Right.
well, tough luck, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So all these pieces. Are there more pages?
So,
in
yes.
this? Sorry, you're cutting in and out again, John.
Angel Wings is supposed to be reminiscent of Stigmata.
Hmm.
Oh, did I robot again?
Yeah.
Little bit.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is reminiscent of Angel Wings. Yes, that's on purpose. There's, and then here's a page I think from Coney Waves. I don't know what this is. I think this is from one of those Avatar Press Dracula books. So I got these aren't heroic tales. This is from Coney Waves, Mark Bolton's book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This is I think from an Avatar Press vampire book. Just it's just gorgeous. It's so cool to look at it. But why not? It's Renzo. I got to help out my buddy.
So this is like basically, if you're just a fan of Renzo's art,
Right.
definitely it's worth coming here, stopping by, and
Get any of his
holy
artwork.
smokes, it just keeps going and going and
Yeah,
going.
and then this is sexy chick, and then there's one more sexy fairy chick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wild.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah,
Man, what a trip.
yeah.
Okay,
cool.
So what I'm going to do, Jason, is I'm going to
Yep.
pull the campaign down for a second, if you don't mind there.
All right, we started out with 51 backers, and several people have backed, and we've got 112 people watching live. Typically, Craig will have like 100 people watching replay. If you back, please drop a shout out in the chat. If you back after when you're watching the replay, tag John on Twitter. Let him know, hey, I backed your book. Spread the link. Let's get as many eyeballs on this campaign as possible.
Thank you.
So John, this is issue 2, and you already told us you've got some big shakeups in store for issue 6. Is this going to are you just going to continue doing this like into the horizon, or what's your long-term plan?
Well, okay. Well, I want to keep doing it. I have so my original plan was like Astro City. If anybody remembers
Yeah.
that comic,
Yep.
Kurt Busiek, every issue was a different superhero, a complete story. That's one thing I'm big on. Each issue is a complete story. So this is 2 complete stories. So if you never buy another comic book again, you have a satisfying conclusion. Although each issue does build on the next,
Yep.
like the way Marvel Comics used to be.
Yep.
You didn't have to buy every consecutive issue, but if you did, you got more out of it.
Yep.
I'm going to be referencing like Regina, the reporter.
Mhm.
You saw her acting crazy in the first issue. You'll see why she's crazy in another issue, kind of thing. But you can enjoy it at the time. So anyway, the way it works for me is I paid for issue number 1 out of my own pocket, and then whatever I raised for issue number 1 is going for issue number 2.
Mhm.
So right now, issue number 2 is happening. It's already paid for. Even if I only made $1, I'd make issue number 2. But so what we're really doing is funding issue number 3.
Got it.
Because I can't keep laying out thousands of dollars for
Yeah.
a comic book, as much as I would like to. So, if you want to continue the story, I hate to sound like PBS, you know what I mean? But that's the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I can't even speak. I got kind of flustered. But I was gonna just like the Patriarch. I was gonna like maybe come back to him around issue 4. But people like him,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of stuff to tell. So my next campaign is going to be Patriarch number 1.
Oh,
It's going to be
interesting. Okay.
his own comic. He's spinning
Okay.
off into his own comic, and
Okay.
I already had it planned that his 3rd appearance was going to be his origin, because I didn't know if anybody was gonna. I didn't know if my comic was gonna bomb, and who cares
Right.
about the
Mhm.
origin for a character that you have no emotional attachment. So I was like, I'm just gonna talk about the Patriarch, and if there's an interest in him, I'll tell his origin eventually. So now I'm gonna tell his origin in issue number 1, but it's got to be a full length comic. So it's a lot of fun. I'm able to add more details, and Herrenberg, you're gonna like the villain in Patriarch number 1. I'll tell you that right now.
Nice.
He
So
likes sexy chicks.
so we had 51 backers when we started the show.
Mhm, mhm.
Do we want to see where he's at now? Drop
Get ready to pull this up. So we've got 107 people watching live. This is just a reminder that you, as the reader, need to vote with your feet, vote with your dollar. And this particular campaign, this particular book, this is coming from someone who loves the medium, loves heroism, and is taking great lengths to create a coherent world, an interesting world. And this is your kind of ground floor opportunity to support something and back something that's going to be rewarding to you. It's not going to be a throwaway floppy the way Marvel and DC books are right now. So those of you that love the comic book medium, but are unhappy with the current state of Main Street Comics, our friend John here is doing it right. He's doing something from a place of love of the medium and love of heroism. So please back the book.
Thank you.
We got plenty of people watching now, and we started at 51 backers. Craig, let's see how we did this on this Friday nights.
Boom. There you go.
Nice. Picked up 6 backers. Fantastic.
Refresh.
Fantastic.
Hit the refresh button.
Okay. I will refresh one more time.
Yep, because it's at 58. So we got what, 7
wow.
backers?
Nice. That is fantastic.
That's crazy.
For those of you watching, thank you so much. Thank you so much for backing this book. 7 backers in today's economy, with everything going on, is fantastic. Thank you for hanging out with us and kicking your weekend off in style with the Friday nights, looking at John's book, supporting John's book. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
John, is there any last final plugs you want to give, whether it's for your YouTube show or appearances you're going to do? Or anything?
Yeah, I'm on John's Long Box on YouTube. I talk comics. Like Sundays, I do Sunday comics where I just take out a comic and I put another camera on it. We kind of just talk about it. I'm not reading it to you, but we go through it, talk about it, talk about my personal stories to the story, whatever comes about. Friday nights I do It's Clobbering Time at 8:30. These are all New York Eastern Standard Times, where we take 2 things. Like today we did DC versus Marvel. At one point we did the Federation from Star Trek versus the Empire from Star Wars. That was a lot of fun. And we'll take 2 things and like what you did when you were 14 years old. The Ninja Turtles could beat Batman. No, he couldn't. You crazy. That's the theme of that. And then I have like what I call conversations. Just Jason, come on my channel. We'll talk about whatever. Usually it starts out shilling your comic, and then I'm a crazy person, and we're talking about whatever by the end of the hour. That's what I do. I used to do pre-recorded videos of like 10-minute videos of comic. I got to get back to doing that. That was fun. Oscar and I are working on another comic called Eddie is Doomed. And the pitch for that is Love and Rockets meets Crisis on Infinite Earths. It is bizarre. It's insane. It's mature audiences. It's a one shot. It's going to be bigger than a regular comic, and I can't wait. Oscar keeps saying it's like Daniel Clower's script, meeting Silver Age DC nonsense and silliness. It's so good. I can't wait. And then Renzo and I are also working on a top secret mythological historical based comic that when he's done with the art for Heroic Tales, we're gonna make a poster and just tease it.
Nice.
And
Interesting.
it's funny because when I tell people how the poster is going to look, people get the shivers. I told Renzo, when you're making that poster, you're drawing it and I'm buying it.
Right.
I can't wait. So a lot is riding on this because making a comic is expensive. I don't have to say that to you two guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
how long's this campaign been out for already?
This is a week. It was.
Oh wow.
We launched a week today on Bancroft's channel.
Okay, nice.
Excuse me.
Well, you're off to the races for sure.
Yeah. I'm happy. You're gonna love it. I mean, you're never satisfied. You guys, I'm sure. Like I read issue 1, I'm like, I would have done this better. I would. This one is so much better. So much better. It's hard to. Where do you start? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I originally was doing world building the comic, and it was like, in the beginning, in the Silmarillion, and the elves here, and my friends were like, this comic sucks. So I streamlined it down to, okay, it's Father's Day for the Patriarch. I figured he was a good sell for a debut. People liked him, so I'm sticking with him. He's my flagship character.
Yep.
And like I said, I'll probably do a Patriarch story and then Heroic Tales, Patriarch, Heroic Tales, or maybe I'll do them both 2 comics and you can pick whatever. Depends on how fast Renzo is, because I want to work with Renzo. Renzo will draw the Patriarch, and then Renzo will have a pick of the 2 stories in Heroic Tales. You know what I mean? And then I'll hire another person. Like Luke Stone, I want to hire him for a story.
Yep. Cool.
In Heroic Tales. Marcus Killigrew, I have a character that I when I think of this character, it's in his art style. So I'm excited. So
very cool.
Well, John, thank you for joining us. And for the 113 people watching, thank you for joining us and kicking off your weekend. Please come back next week. Craig and I are here every Friday night to shine a spotlight on other creators, kick off the weekend with some laughs, and look at 3 of the most overlooked or buried news stories of the week. We are your most trusted source of news. Craig, do you have any parting thoughts before we run the outros?
No, I'm just excited that spring's here. Looking forward to this month getting over with. Lots of fantastic indie comics, as always, are coming down the pipe. Excited to just keep reading it and keep doing this show. Thank you again for the 411 subscribers to my channel. And yeah, as long as people keep tuning in the show, we'll keep bringing it to you. So
and Jupiter is a great comic too. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Jupiter. I don't know if you had a chance to read mine. You must have read mine there, right, John?
I got yours too. Yeah. Soltak is good. Forgive me. I forgot Soltak was your book. I talk to so many people. I forget.
It's all good.
Yeah, Soltak is awesome. He's going to start working on issue 5. He's plotting out his plan of attack for issue 5. So looking forward to seeing that in this year. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Get outside. Enjoy some of that spring air. And Craig, what crazy outros do you have lined up?
Yeah, so I ran it through the YouTube filter. Thank goodness. I had the birds in there originally, but it set off the filter, so I had to pull the birds out. So yeah, for the next couple months, no more movies, no more music. I'm gonna be a good YouTuber as we go. But always stay around for the outros because I throw something fun together. Thanks again, John, for joining us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast. Thank you, guys.
And it's up to you if you want to stick around. We always chat a bit in the back room after, but it's totally optional. So with that saying, 113 people, again, 7 backers. Thank you so much for backing. Thanks for subscribing to Mad Ruth. And just to everyone out there, have a great weekend.
A man named Dexter Smithen went to a Tesla dealership just like any other customer. He was there to test drive a Cybertruck, Tesla's newest electric vehicle. The truck is huge, powerful, and very expensive. People all over the world are excited to see it and drive it. But what happened next shocked everyone. During the test drive, Dexter never came back. The dealership waited and waited. Hours passed, then days. The Cybertruck was gone. It was clear now. Dexter had stolen it. For a while, nobody knew where the truck was.
Did somebody say they want to go for the drive?
Being a teacher has to be one of the most challenging professions out there. Not only does it require patience, but sometimes it requires unique ways to get the attention of the students and keep them engaged. Luckily, Veronica Dukey doesn't have that problem though. This 43-year-old teacher said she was trying to find creative ways to engage with her students when she found a full-body anatomical bodysuit. And that's when she decided it would be the perfect visual aid for her students. She said she knew how hard it was for her third-grade students to visualize the disposition of internal organs and said it was worth giving the suit a try. Her husband tweeted a few pics of her dressed up in her bodysuit and it quickly went viral. I'd like society to stop considering teachers to be lazy bureaucratic public servants.
Come to daddy.
In this idyllic village, there is an unexpected menace. The great man-hating hawk of Flamstead, Hertfordshire. Around 30 men have been biffed on the head in the past few weeks. Now, we're on the hunt for the hawk, using these photos as a guide. Our robust health and safety procedures mean that I've been told that I have to wear one of these for my own protection while in the village, although I don't remember any training on how to survive a wild bird attack.
Help! Help!
Oh. Oh shit! Oh!
I'm pulling it out.
2025!
Pulling it out!
Finish him! Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory fatality.
Pulling it out!
This album is dedicated To all the teachers that told me I'd never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling in front of, called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. You know the Arnold's in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Ha, it's all good, baby, baby. Yes, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall.